Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Kin-Tae with It's Necessary. I hope everyone is having a rock star day or has had a rock star day. I want you guys to please take this time and hit that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. And it's a blessing from God just to see the numbers go up on the subscribers. I thank you guys so much, those of you that's been following this channel. Thank you. And so yeah, please take your time right about now and just hit that little subscribe button on your right hand side, and I appreciate it. So let me go ahead and get right into this. So about 4 years ago, I was given a book, and I read the book, and the book was cool. And I had a client ask me about, have you ever read, I guess they're, watching the channel or whatever, and they had asked me, they said, have you ever read the book? It was this book, it was about different love languages. And I said, yeah. I said, someone, gave me that book, a few years ago, and I got into it, and they're like, did you like it? And I was like, it was cool, And she had asked, she said, well, why didn't you like the book? And I said, I didn't say I didn't like it. I just didn't, I wasn't prepared for it during the time I received it. And when I read it, it just kind of opened up a can of worms. Excuse me, you guys, I'm still not used to this hair. But she was like, well, what, did you find out what your love languages are? And I said, yeah. I was like, yeah. I said, I found out what they are. I said, but me, Johannes, I'm the one's like, okay, well, why is that my love language? And she was like, well, doing the book, they have like these little tests in the book you can take or whatever. And she was like, well, sis, you were able to find out some things about yourself. And I said, I was. I said, but like I said, I wasn't prepared to, deal with this. And so, I told her my love. And so she was like, well, what are your love languages? I said, words of affirmation. I think the other one was gift services or something. Not gift services. That sounds like a delivering company. But it was gifts of services. So I think that was, yeah, that's it. It was doing stuff for other people. And then the other one was touch. And she was like, okay, well, I said, yeah. I said, but I believe when they were writing the book, they were talking, well, let me finish this other part. So I went on to tell her, why, it was the book was a little harsh for me during that time because I was still going through, my healing process. And again, Kin-Tae Johannes asked the why. And so I was like, well, I didn't understand why those were my love languages. And she was like, well, and then she went on to tell me hers, and we had a little dialogue on that. And so I said, well, I believe that book was written from a place of purity, from a place of wholeness, from a place of someone that wasn't ever, from a place of purity, pretty much. Somebody that just didn't have any type of issues or been through any type of anything. And she was like, oh, I never thought about it like that. So then I went on to say, I said, well, when you look at my life, I said, because of me living in over 40 something different addresses, I had to become a people pleaser. So by me being a people pleaser, of course, I'm going to try to wash your dishes, wash your dog, wash your car, wash you if you have, whatever it is that you wanted me to do, I was going to do that. So those gifts of services, they were coming from a place of neglect and a place of abandonment and trying to hold on to what it is that I had at that time, be it good or bad. But so that gift of services, it didn't come from a healthy place for me. So then we go into the so we talked a little bit about that. I'm not gonna make this video that long, but we talked a little about that, and then I went into the touch. The touch was, I was abused, I was molested. So of course touch was familiar, and it took me to a place of familiarity, but it wasn't a healthy place. It wasn't a healthy place. When you're, being molested or fondled, you end up, when you're used to it, you just kind of relax into it, and, just things happen, so that wasn't a good place for me, or that wasn't a good thing for me. So talking about love languages, those weren't coming from a place of what I consider love, but at that time I really didn't know what love was. So it is what it is. So going into the words of affirmation, always being called names, always being, black this and ugly this and, stupid this and ignorant this and all these different names, all this name calling, it made me feel as if I was nothing. I had no sense of value, no sense of of self-respect. It just, everything was just out the window. It's like all these things, I was broken down so much. So when I read this book and it said your love language is words of affirmation, I need people to tell me that I'm okay. I need people to tell me that, oh, you're pretty. I need people to tell me that, you know, you're intelligent. No, I don't. You know, so after you get your healing, therefore those love languages change depending on what, you know, walk of life you've been, what your journey was. I'm gonna put it like that. But yeah, so I wasn't ready for that book, but that was a great conversation for me, because now it shows me where, it tells me where I am now because of the grace and the mercies of God. You know, studying his word, finding out what his word says about me versus what people say about me, or what I was thinking about myself because of the abuse. So I want to encourage you guys to find out what it is in your life, and what are your triggers in your life, and things in your life that like the different, you know, languages of love. Because all of mine, they were produced, or they were produced behind me going through an abusive life, a neglectful life, you know, just all these different elements that I went through. That was my I guess the umbrella that I was under, and it caused me to, you know, pick up these different love languages or what have you. And but anyways, but I'm healing. God is continue to work on. He's continuously working on me. I'm sorry for all the tongue twisting, but it's just a blessing to know where you've been and where you've come from. Because if you don't know where you come from, it's hard to know where you're gonna go, and or even how you're gonna get there because of the because of all the trauma. So long story short, I'm already at 6 minutes, almost 7, so it's not too short. But anyways, I want to encourage you guys to love on yourself, and you don't need words of affirmation from others. You don't need to go out and over service people, you know, just so they can, you know, you can feel a sense of appreciation or a sense of belonging or community. You don't have to and if your love language is touch, if you're doing these things, or these are your love languages, excuse me, you guys, from a place